charges like that, it don't make no sense. It doesn't make no sense. It's just another way to really, you know, especially get the man out of there or make life hard for a man. It's already hard for a man as it is, especially with this feminism and stuff, man. It's crazy.
Mm-hmm. I mean, not to mention, you go from, it's hard from a man to it's hard for a black man or a brown man
Yes.
or a poor man, and then you start adding other elements on top of that, like the sex offender registry,
Yes. And I mean, and this is what I got a thing I call save a man's life with the truth and don't destroy a man's life with the lies. And I feel a lot of women should take heed to that because, man, I mean, to destroy a man's life is that easy, or it'll make it real difficult for a man to prove himself, or some things he have to live with it, but still will have to, explain his situation all through that time. So a man got to put up with all the criticism, the public humiliation, no matter if it's at work. I mean, everything just hard living wise as far as the man, with dealing with situations like that. I didn't know that it would go to that extreme as it is now. Because back in the 90s, it was different. It was totally different back in the 90s. But the more years went by, it's like the more they try to use this as uh more of a scam likely.
Man, tell me about it. So, I mean, just talking about the registry and scams, right? Like, so, I mean, just when you think of the sex offender registry, like, is it constitutional or is it not?
It's really not.
But why though?
I mean, constitutional. I mean, matter of fact, I get what you're saying. I think we have constitutional rights. So yeah, I take that back.
I
But
mean,
yeah, and it's so many of our constitutional rights that got violated behind this, all because they try to stick to the hustle and stick to the scam to keep a man down or make it hard for him to live life and being looked at a certain way, which this person might not really be like that. Like me, like you and me, we're not like that. We just fell into a trap that like back in them days, it was like that. You couldn't tell or whatever. So it wasn't no Google, wasn't no social media, wasn't none of that. So where you can at least try to do some research. We back then you didn't have to do that. To be honest, it was just okay, fine.
Yeah, you Google somebody's name now, it's like, and then sex offender registry is not constitutional. I don't care how you look at it, how many different ways you look at it, how you can justify it. I don't even understand any way anybody can even justify something like a registry of any kind.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, because now everything is just all about women and children, but knowing that it's a lot of bad things and a lot of bad behavior with these women and children that's going on, but it's still like, well, we got to protect our children. We got to protect the women. Hey, what about the man? Hey, we the reason everybody in this world.
Right.
The reason now, the ones see people don't, and I've been looking at movies like Ted Bundy and John Wayne Gacy. Dudes like them, Jeffrey Dahmer, they are like that. They really like that.
Right.
They are really them the ones that should be going through this. Not people like us to where we've been lied to and lied on.
Mm-hmm.
And you got and you got so many women throwing allegations on people. Especially when it ain't true. A man gotta fight hard. Man gotta go through all this, the jail and everything, the bond and lawyers and stuff like that. And then what if the man, what the man prove himself through court and clear his name? What happens to the woman? Nothing. Nothing.
I wonder how many men don't report sex offenses on women. You know, like
Yes. Hey, I
you talk
mean,
about underreporting.
I'm pretty sure it's a lot, but it's just some that some you can't do nothing but, you know what I'm saying, um, how would I put it? Enforce it because you got a lot of these teachers, that's messing with these students, no matter if it's elementary or on the high school. You got a lot of them doing that, and I mean that's crazy. That's sick. But back in my high school days, man, it was a teacher boy. It was a teacher man. It'd be a teacher boy. Oh, I want to do something to her, but
Hey,
they get any more privileges than we do. We get to make that dream come true.
man, you talk about high school students though, right? Like
Yeah,
that.
high
I
school.
be thinking about this all the time, like the age of consent. Like some
Yep.
states' age of consent is 17, while the other states' age of consent is 16. Like, why do
Yep.
you think it's a different age of consent, or why do you think it varies from state to state, and there is no federal guidelines of the age that you can actually consent from state to state?
Um, I think it's just some way to keep something to hold against us somehow, some way. You got underage girls having kids, and what's with that? I mean, you got underage, a lot of underage drinking, a lot of underage drug use. It's just crazy. It's just crazy. So I mean, I try to tell women to teach their daughters the I mean, especially their underage, to save a man's life with the truth and don't destroy a man's life with the lie. Mean that, yo, yeah, I'm such and such. Okay, thank you for saving my life, but I can't mess with
Straight up,
you.
just like
That's it, just like that. But especially like I say, feminism and these celebrities that just bring sexualization out there to where even the mothers who's a fan of it, they put this out in front of their daughters that's underage and things like that, making it think like it's a good thing. But when you know a man end up getting lied to and lied on, with one of their daughters, then they all in. They don't want to make themselves look like a bad mother.
mm-hmm.
And
You
on
know,
top of that, they got everybody on their side.
yeah, you're right. It's crazy. Nobody want to say sorry. Nobody want to apologize. False accusations are a lot higher than what people are willing to accept.
Yes.
People be taking this stuff all the way to their grave. What do you think about what just happened with R. Kelly?
I don't. To be honest, I don't believe all that stuff. I really don't. But the one thing that killed R. Kelly was that sex tape back in way back then. I saw it myself, and I was like, "Oh my god! Oh, I
I
ain't know."
heard everybody talking about it, but
I mean, it's
I
like he
must
was
have been
getting
too young. I must have been too young for that tape, but I heard everybody talking about it.
man. I seen that tape, man. He had that girl in that room, and he made her, twirl around, and twirl a booty around, twirl a booty around, and pee on the floor while she doing it. He just like, yeah, like that, yeah, like that. I'm like, oh man, you had what kind of sick fetish you got going on? And then that's when at the end of the part, that's where it showed that he was. I seen it when he was peeing all on the girl or stuff like that. I was like, oh my god, man, I couldn't believe R. Kelly like that. Cause in the beginning of the tape, you know, he was. I don't know if it was in the backstage room with one woman. She looked like she was a grown woman, and she was just giving him oral sex or whatever. But yeah, after that, that's when it got to the other girl part, the young girl. And I was like, when I seen that, man, man, this man sick as.
I got there's a lot of different emotions about that, too. When like he probably had his own little fantasies or whatever, but I do think that a lot of those parents and adults, other parents and adults should have. But I don't think he should have been the only one being accountable because they were the ones that was willing to give up their kids. And the kids was with it. It was like, okay, he a superstar, he a celebrity, he rich, the kids wanted, he wanted his fantasy, and parents like, okay, pay for it, you take it. But
yeah,
yet,
it's a
at the end of the day, he the only one who is
get
stuck.
stuck with everything piled on him. And they look at it, the parents, they're the ones that did the human sex trafficking, not him.
Right. Exactly.
They committing the human sex trafficking, man. You trafficking your underage child to them, man, in order for, say a monetized game or lifestyle.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, man. Yeah, no, all of them should have got sold. About
So
that.
you think it was more a sense of public opinion of what happened to R. Kelly, or like do you like think that like because
I think it does. I think it does. I think public opinion has a little role to play in it, a little bit. Though it ain't major. I don't think it's major, but I think it's a little role to it. But it's just like I just think it was so many bitter people towards him to where they rounded all this stuff up, and on top of that, people want money, so they'll do anything for it. So, and a lot of them participants in that Survive R. Kelly, documentary, and it's coming out slowly that a lot of them lied or a lot of them did it for the bag. What they say for the bag, for the bag,
right.
and that ain't fair. So I think R. Kelly might end up getting the Bill Cosby effect. Might do a little time in there. Everything could get converted over back to maybe getting thrown out or whatever, and then he'll be back out here. That's why I think. But who knows? Because Bill Cosby, he went through something similar. How you gonna have how women out of all these years, 50, 50 years and under, just come out and he did me, he hit me with a pill too, and all this stuff. I mean, really?
Right. How much of that, like, I mean, for anybody to come out 20 or 30 years later, a lot of that, I think it might be something wrong with that too, because it's like, all right, if somebody done something to you, that violated your rights or something that they shouldn't have done to you, you gonna say something to somebody. Why wait 20 years later? I think some of these people just be bandwagon, jumping on the boat, trying to figure out, oh, well, if that person said it, or if this person done it, or look, oh, they getting in on that train too, I'm gonna get in too, because people can actually vouch that I know that person or knew that person or was in the same space or area of that person or may have went out on a date on that person. So I'm gonna call it too. 20 years later, this person did this to me. I need that bag.
That's why I say a scam, a hustle.
Limitations. Like,
yes. But dude, how could an average human being remember way back like that anyway? How could you? How could you can probably remember certain things, but that far back, no.
I think if somebody did something to you that dramatic 20 years ago, you would have been talking about it.
And I say this, if a person really did something to you in a sexual offense, you supposed to went to the hospital, get everything checked out by yourself, get that taken care of first, then proceed further. But a lot of them don't do that. They don't do it. Some of them must get raped and everything, man, and don't find no police report because their excuses, oh, I was scared of him. He said he was gonna kill me and all this. And I told hell and shit. How the hell he gonna kill you? Hey, you sit his ass in the damn jail.
I call bullshit, and I call bullshit
Yeah,
because like if a man slap, and I'm just using, and I shouldn't even put genders on there, but if somebody say slap you up, right? Most people around here instantly calling the police. Like
yeah,
if somebody run into your car, they calling the police. If you have a family dispute, they calling the police. If like they call the police for everything all the time. How do they stop calling the police for something as serious as this when they call law enforcement for everything else, and then
everything else?
They call or say this person did this when it's money involved?
Yeah, exactly. Shit, man. A lot, a lot of our women, saying out here, it's just sad how they, try to just keep shit. I mean, would keep things and take it to the grave or whatever, or wait till a certain incident happen to now want to join the bandwagon if it's gonna, help them live a better lifestyle.
Like,
Yep.
how do you think we should handle people who lie about something as serious as sexual assault? Like, what do you think should happen to them?
Now, this always been one of my thoughts. I think that you know a parent should pay a certain penalty because it shows that they're not being the proper parent to their child or their daughter or their son. So I think they need to be put in that mess too. I think they need to catch something too because at DSS to take your child if something go wrong. They'll take your child. Boy, whatever offense happened to a child, man, DSS is like a trick, doing a magic trick in the hat. Bam, here it go. There they go, right there. There they go, right there.
Yeah. So like we was talking about false accusations is higher than what people are willing to accept. But why do you think like that? Like when I hear underreported, that's where my mind go. Like all the underreported cases of people that's been falsely accused that's afraid to speak up. Like, why do you think people are afraid to speak up, especially when it comes towards false accusations?
Because they don't want to look like a big liar. They don't want they don't want to look like a big liar. They don't want to look like a bad person. They don't want to make themselves look bad or they people look bad.
Public opinion.
That's that's what it is. That's why I also mentioned that a lot of people also don't get nowhere even in dating. A lot of people don't get nowhere even in dating because it's all about they worried about what people think, what people say, things like that. But as far as allegations, I always think that the female should get something slapped on her too, especially for telling lies like that. Because that's destroying the man's life. They find sex offenses more. It's bad when they find sex offenses more serious than murder. And murder, that's a nail on the coffin.
Yeah. So okay. So what about parents, right? Like, how do you think we should handle parents that ruin lives because their kids was either fast or they couldn't control them, or like how do you think we should handle parents?
They should feel something too. They should feel something too because it's their job to be a mother or a father. It's their job. Ain't no what the problem is, a lot of mothers, instead of they ain't being mothers, they being more like a friend to their daughters, and you know fathers being friends to their sons, or that it's just too many parents trying to be friends to actually being a mama and daddy.